Hello and welcome to my tutorial. This will be a tutorial on how to make logos and mostly for group uses. I make these for Roblox groups and divisions and so on that will have, like an American army and their groups, etc. So, yeah. What we're going to start with is create a new project. Usually I just make it 1,000 by 1,000, mostly because it gives me a good sense of what I'm editing, and it's big, so it's a high resolution. So I just start off by creating it. We can leave this one white so far. What we're going to head on to is this little shape icon here. We're going to right click it and it says ellipse. Now when you drag it with your left click, you see that it has, you can either like a long in width or a big in height, but in order to make it very perfect, you just hold shift while you drag. You can see it's very easy to just drag it. Then you go onto this moving icon and you center it. Make sure you center it perfectly. Now we can easily just forget about that one. Let's call this circle 1, and from there we will go in here and we will create a color overlay. Now the color overlay on this one is going to be the base color of the logo itself. Usually I go with like a dark gray one. This one seems to be working for me. Then we go with a stroke, and the stroke is usually a neon color, say green, red, cyan. Let's go with cyan on this one. Now usually the outer circle, the back one, has to have a thick stroke, so I'll put 6 for now, which press OK, and you can see it's very nice. Now we're just gonna hit Ctrl J. Ctrl J copies the circle and the size and everything, and we're gonna say circle 2. Now this circle has to be a bit smaller. We have to take into consideration that there has to be text in the middle of this circle, so we have to make it fairly small. Let's see, that makes sense. So now we have an outer circle and an inner circle. Now usually what I do to create some extra detail is have like this, you can also zoom in here, you have this big circle out here, and then we have like a very small circle in here to create like a small line. So we're gonna do that by hitting Ctrl J on this one. We're just gonna say circle 1 outline. Now we're just gonna make this very small, and then we're gonna double click it and we're gonna change the stroke to say 3 or 4. Yeah, 4 seems good. Then we make it smaller. There we go. Now you can see it has a very small outline here. Very small outline here that just creates a bit of detail. We're actually gonna add another one on this one, but on the outside. Yeah, sorry, just hit Ctrl J again and move this one below the other one, and then we make the stroke the same one as the outline on that one, so say 4, and we're just gonna name it circle 2 outline as well. Just gonna add it like that seems fine. Now what we're gonna do to begin with is that we're gonna add some text, so press this type tool here. Alright, so we're just gonna add a text down here, and make sure you don't touch any of the circles. Just out here or on the side, just say we're gonna do a United States Army. Now you make sure that the text is dragged above all circles so we can easily see it. Now we got this one. We're gonna size it up a bit. I'm just gonna center it up here a little bit more. Now the font that you use is very crucial for the end result of the whole thing. So if we just double click it, we go up here. Sorry for this little icon. Instead of Luckiest Guy, I usually go with either Barlow. You can put it up here, Barlow, or I usually go for something different. Let's see, down in B as well. Alright. Yeah, Big Shoulders Display. The Big Shoulders Display, and then you can press up here in the regular, and you can press it extra black or just black. And that just creates a nice text for us. We're gonna have it white. When you add text, it's very important that it's very thick, because when it's very thick, it's very easy to see as well. Alright, so we got our text right here, and what we're gonna do is that we're gonna double press it. We're gonna go up in here, warp, and style. We're gonna press that, and we're gonna press arc. And you can see it has a little funny bend here. Now we're gonna have our main text down here, so we're just gonna go minus down there, and then we're gonna drag it down here. Now, when making logos, it's important to realize that the last or first letter has to be very centered with the rest of the circle. So it's too close here and too far off here. So we're gonna change a bit in the warp just to make sure that it actually is it swerves with the logo itself. Let's see. Alright, that seems about great. Now what we're gonna do is that we're gonna find a main logo in the middle to put. Now the main logo is usually a flag or like an emblem or anything like that. So we're gonna go into Google and we're gonna write American flag waving. So I just go into images and just pick the one with the best resolution. This one seems great, so we just copy that image, just paste it in there. See, it's very big, so that's very great for the resolution. If it's too small and you have to scale it up a bit, the resolution becomes worse and very poor, and that will be very noticeable on the end result. So we're just going to make sure that it covers the entire inner circle here and make sure that it's centered. Yeah, that seems about right. Now what we're going to do is that we're going to drag it only right above circle 2, and then we're going to right click it and we're going to press clipping mask. When we do clipping mask, it usually goes, it just fills up the whole circle. Now since we can't see anything, that's because we have a color overlay on. So when we remove that, you can see it's there. What happens here is that the color overlays the whole image, so it just covers it completely. Obviously we don't need any color on the circle 2 as we won't be able to see it anyway, so we're just gonna leave that there. Alright, so you can see the flag is very bright here. What we're gonna do is that we're gonna press the flag, we're gonna go to opacity, and we're gonna change it down a bit. Now yeah, 14% seems great. Yeah, it seems fair. Now if you want to change the brightness of the flag, you see that our circle is black right now, so you just go into the shape 1, press fill, and here you have the color. If you want it super bright, put it on white, but as you can see, it kind of screws up the whole image. So let's just have it very close to black with dark gray. Alright, that seems great, and now we got our flag. So our next step is usually just to put a main logo in the middle, right? But before we do that, I kind of want to add an extra detail on the logo itself. So what we're going to do is that we're going to go into shapes, rectangle. I'm just going to zoom in on each side, and then we're going to take a rectangle from one side of the outline to the other outline, fairly thin. Make sure that it is centered. There you go. The red line always tells you if it's centered or not, so that's a nice way of knowing. Now it's black right now, so we're just going to go in here, we're going to say color overlay, and we're just going to put it on the cyan. Always have the color of this of the rectangle the same one as the outline, so it blends in nicely. What you want to do now is that you're just going to do the exact same thing on the opposite side. As long as you just copy it and just drag it all the way, the screen will kind of follow. There you go. Whoa. There you go. Yep, that makes sense to me. Now we want to add some logos out here, and the American Army has an emblem, kind of funny emblem. It has a star or like a rectangle with the stars. We're just gonna say US Army emblem. There you go. Now it has this one, so it's important, very important, that you find a PNG of this one. For example, this one. we're just gonna press copy, because if you don't use PNG, it's gonna come with a whole white background or something. It's gonna be a pain to remove. So we're gonna want our layer to be all the way on top, and then we're gonna make sure that we just scale it down a bit. If it fills the whole screen and you simply can't see anything, just zoom out with this zoom tool. Let's see. Right here seems good. We're gonna do the same on the opposite side. You can also hold Control and scroll down, and it'll just move. There we go. Now, once you make your logo, the longer you go, the more you realize how the logo should look in general. So we see that we started off with a cyan circle. Now we kind of want to move over to a yellow one, as it would make much more sense with the emblem out here and with the United States Army in general. So we're gonna go in here, we're gonna go into stroke, and we're gonna pick a very yellow color or an orange one. If you want to copy this color, you can easily just go in here and press what I have, copy, and we're just gonna do the exact same thing on all the shapes we got. And on the last one. Now here it's also important that you change the small shapes that you added. So we're just gonna go in here, shape 1. And shape 1 copy. Oh. Great. Now we have our color and our logos. What we want to do from here is that we're gonna make a centered image. Now we choose which division we're gonna pick. So say we pick the 1st Armored Division, or actually the 1st Cavalry Division. Yeah, that has a very good logo to our little thing here. So Wikipedia often has PNG images, so you can always just go on the Wikipedia one and have a PNG image. So you just copy that one, and we'll just scale it up. There you go. Now, it's very blurry, but that's usually what happens when you do these. We can also pick another color, since this won't be used for a certain purpose. So we can just pick the 1st Air Cavalry Division. Just pick that one because it's bigger. And again, you want to make sure the logo is all the way up on the top. A little smaller than that. There you go. Now what I usually want to do with the logos I put in the center is that you can see it doesn't really have a lot of action here. So you can just double click that and you can put a drop shadow on it. Now usually I like to put it down here with not a lot of distance, but a lot of opacity. Just put it on normal. And the size decently big. Just press OK, and then we got our image. Now we obviously want to have the 1st Air Cavalry Division text up here. So we say it's 1st Air Cavalry Brigade. So we're just going to press our text. Usually we want to have our text all the way below this one. So we just copy our text, put it up here, and say it was 1st Air Cavalry Brigade. There you go. Center it. And then we want to warp it in the opposite position. Right up here. Just drag it down. That seems about nice. Now, oh yeah, we kind of want to move it a little bit. Yeah, that seems nice. Now, what I'd like to do is that I'd like to add some things to the text. For example, small stars here, or something like it. So that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to say white star PNG. Let's see, this one has a dark outline, so usually we don't pick that one. So we just want a pure white star, for example, this one. So we're just going to copy that, paste it in all the way on the top. Scale it down. We're just going to zoom in here. Now we want the star to be the exact same color as the text, so we're just gonna go into properties, color overlay, and put it as directly white. We're just gonna make sure that it's scaled down. Now what's important when you add stars to the text is that it doesn't go out here, or too much up here, or too much out. Just like a fair amount right there. That seems great. You can much easier see it whenever you zoom out. That's easier to see. So we're just gonna do the exact same thing on the opposite side, and when we zoom out, you can easily see, oh, this one is a little further away than this one. So we're just gonna change that by just simply moving it a little out. And this one has to be a little down. Now you don't have to name your things, but when you start adding so many layers like we have, it's better to name them and sometimes to group them as well. But what we're gonna do is that we're just gonna freelance this one, so we're not gonna do that. So what you're gonna do is hold both stars and press Ctrl J, and then you have another set of stars. This is usually what I do because the stars up there look perfect, and we want the kind of same shape down here with these ones. So all I gotta do is just move it a little closer and change it a bit up. So we're just gonna go all the way out. Yeah, that seems fine. Actually, we want to make sure that the star is kind of centered between these lines. Yeah, that seems good. Yeah. Alright, so now we got our logo. And now what I usually do is I just simply save it, export as PNG, just call it something like US Army logo. That's very good. Now sometimes I even go above and beyond, and I go into Pixlr.com, and Pixlr is an editing software I only really use to pimp up the colors. So you're just gonna press Pixlr editor, open image, and open our image. Now we have our image right here. What you want to do is go into filter, effect library, and you can play around with some of these. Usually I just go tuning and the punch. You can see it just darkens it a bit, nothing too crazy like this one, so just darkens it a bit. So that's what I'd like to pick, and then we are good to file, export, and we're done. So I hope you liked this video, and I hope it helped you a lot, and hopefully you can create logos like these in the future and just rewind the video as many times as you possibly can to make sure that you get the logo right. Thank you for watching.